It's a new patch. Estelle is out and my first games as her were very eventful. What's poppin' everyone, it's your boy Levi, and today is patch day. We finally got Estelle. I was really excited for this character. I think she's super fun, so as always, here's my day one experience with her. So, my first game was incredibly weird. If you played on this patch, you'll know it's littered with bugs. My first game of Estelle, first game on the new patch, and do you notice anything in particular? Yep, it's entirely bots. I think this was a bug with the normals MMR getting reset. This is a normal game, which is why you can see it in spectator mode, but I really thought I'd queued up for a co-op versus AI, so I head boomed only to find out that I have a nice 15th place finish in my first game. Moving on, I decided the best course of action was to play an attack speed CDR build that is really sticky. Once you get on the people, it's really hard for them to get you off. Estelle also doesn't have any problems killing people. She's got pretty good damage, and it's hard for people to get away from her, especially if they don't have wall jumps like this Yuki. Personally, I think the best way to play her is the sticky charge in and basic attack playstyle. As I'm chasing this dial in, I hit the boar with my E and I get stopped, so I try out the fire extinguisher. Unless you're going amp, I personally don't think it's worth it to ever use this spell. I hit the dial in with the old reliable, the fake teleport after a red chase and then rechase to pick up the kill. I think a bulky bruiser build accompanied with blazing dress is definitely the way to go. Unfortunately, I die here to a Jackie, but I feel like this was a winnable fight. Just gotta get used to the character still. I thought about what would have pushed me over the edge to win that fight with the Jackie, besides just playing it a little bit better. I decided that maybe healing drone might be the best play, as it would give me a safety net if I messed up the combo. I didn't end up getting the tree this game because I tried some alternate pathing. I decided to go alley before factory, and that was a huge mistake. I spent forever here trying to find batteries, and I even had to dip in a dock to find them. My inventory also boomed a little bit, so I definitely recommend staying with the Sem Chapel factory start. This game was pretty dim for me, and I died contesting alpha. Can we talk about the new save plan UI? I personally think it's a little bit chaotic, but maybe I just have to get used to it. I like the idea of where it's going, it just doesn't feel very user-friendly yet, especially when it comes to augments. I like the idea of matching an augment to a save plan, but if you don't do that, you end up just getting this default augment page. And also, in character select, you can't edit the augment page that you currently have selected. You have to swap off of it, edit it, and then swap back to it. Not sure why that's a thing, but it's super inconvenient. I had also altered my build a little bit for this game. I was now running Motor Helm for the anti-heal and Plasma Arc and Quiver instead of Smart Band and Music Box. This meant I needed less batteries and less piano wires, so I wasn't stuck in chapel and factory early. Anyways, this game I ended up having the default frailty page. I was super squishy. Just look how much this Leon, Tia, and Chloe all do to me. At least with frailty I managed to do some decent damage back. I picked up a third-party snipe and then took Marcus down in a 1v1. I do die to Leon shortly after though because all my spells are on cooldown. To recap, I felt like I was doing decent damage, and I didn't really have SP problems. So then it hit me. Why am I taking Havoc secondary? Quench got nerfed this patch heavily, and Spirit Culling was a waste of an augment if I don't have SP problems. So why am I running them? I decided to run Embolden and Cavalcade. Embolden works really well with Estelle's ultimate shield. Combo this with Assembly and you have a pretty decent defense buff with the shield. Cavalcade is also really good for contesting objectives due to there being a large amount of people nearby. I decided that was going to be my goal for the next game and just contest everything. The build I decided on is a 4-zone build starting in Cemetery. It's very quick and you can usually get to Hotel Tree on time. The early game is more of the same. You spawn in Cemetery, you only need one loot distribution, so that's nice. Grab a coffee to make mocha bread for your food. If you get the same spawn as me or you get the middle spawn, you're golden. Run into Chapel and loot towards the TP. You don't need anything extra in Chapel, and even if you're behind someone, you're likely to still get your items unless it's another Estelle. In Factory, I kind of inventory panicked when this Aiden TP'd on my forehead. I don't know why I'm stealing my battery or scrap metal because you technically only need one distribution here, and I really didn't want to go to another one. He was nice enough to drop his extra oilcloth for me though. If you are inventory booming and you already got your lighter for boiled water, rocks tend to be the answer to clearing your inventory space. As I said, SP drinks don't really matter on Estelle. She doesn't really have high SP costs, but if you have extra coffee, you can make Americano. If not, just boil the water and make hot honey water or something in Alley. If you have the space, you can grab a nail. Make sure to grab an alcohol here for your mocha bread. Alley is super simple. Just complete the remainder of your build and path towards the teleporter. You can make white rhinos if you grabbed a nail in Factory for the crafting XP. If you missed a piano wire in Chapel, or just have hella time like I did, you can go beach for your turtle shell. If not, you can just call it in. After beach, or if you went straight to hotel, it's time to contest tree. I know in the last video I did, my Chloe guide, I said Chloe's a really good tree contester early because most characters can't deal with her ultimate. However, Estelle is definitely one person who can. Just call it in on Chloe and Nina and you'll have a pretty good time. I pick up a kill here and roam into school for my blazing dress. You just need the cloth from hotel and the scissors and lighter from school. You're pretty good at dueling with blazing dress because it just constantly burns opponents with how sticky you are. Next I like to contest alpha. Be warned, you probably should get your weapon skill if you're gonna contest alpha. I didn't, and her alpha is pretty mid without it. I almost get stolen by a Yuki, but I actually feel like I played this properly, and the fight went really well for me. It's almost like I have done it before though. With Alpha, I like to go Mithril Shield. I think you have a pretty good option with Mithril Shield and Quiver, but I decided on Shield and TP the hospital for the next tree. Not sure why no one was contesting this tree in this lobby, so I got it for free. I was thinking Force Core, so I called in a Meteorite with my credit. Estelle is pretty naturally tanky, and I think Hermes makes a good complement for her. It makes her pretty bulky, as this Marcus is going to find out. Guess I'm just the better axe user. The current game plan was to just take everything that was available in this lobby, so I ran to factory to take Omega. This poor Rio didn't know what she was in for. There wasn't enough walls for how fast I was, so I tracked her down and picked up the kill. I then went back to Omega, and here you can see that the android take is a little bit better with axe skill. With only 2 of us left, I wanted to be near Wick. I totally spaced out on the fact that there's a Force Core axe, and it's probably really good on Estelle, but I defaulted to Halo. If I could go back, I definitely would have gone for the Force Core axe. I cleared out the Hunson Temple and decided to test my luck with a Wick take. Honestly, I definitely committed the ultimate too early here, and Yuki gets me to pull off of it while it's low. We make a pretty even trade, where Yuki gets the Wick and I get the items. We chip at each other for a little bit, and he ends up chasing me out of the zone. I think he definitely should have pressured me here though. He had more timer and he gave me enough time to build some transitions. I opted into Queen of Hearts with the blood because I wanted the CDR and crushed the Meteorite into Sultan Quiver. Not gonna lie, this was a pretty hype final 2 in my opinion. We both have 4 kills. I was a little bit more transitioned than he was, but he had Wick buff. I definitely got the better of him in the 1v1 bowl and figured this was my only chance of beating him, so I just stuck to him. I didn't want my opportunity for a win to slip away if I let him reset the fight. It was the right play, and after giving chase, my efforts were rewarded. 13 games to get a win. Not bad. Really proud of myself for how I adapted with my builds, learning through experience with each game. Thank you so much for watching if you made it to this point. Estelle is a lot of fun, and I can definitely see her being my new team modes character. Like the video and let me know in the comments how your Estelle Day 1 is going. Subscribe for more videos similar to this one, and I'll see you in the next one.